Okay, what's going on, everybody? It's Coach Desmond, Mr. Desmond, whatever you want to call me, coming to you live from my living room again. Decided to do another screencast going over some changes we've made to the athlete conditioning cards. I spoke with Coach Holmes last week, and we were talking about ways to measure progress throughout, distance physical education. And we talked about RPE, modified Borg scale, all the stuff that I talked about in the last video. And we came to the conclusion that reps in reserve, this little cell that I have highlighted right here, would be a better way to track your progress throughout the remainder of distance physical education. At least while we're trying to follow a progressive overload principle, it's a lot easier to monitor how well you're doing as you're increasing your load or volume. If you remember, we had a progressive overload PowerPoint out to you guys. Coach Freeman went over in class with you guys, kind of the goals that we're doing in this, modified new normal. And we found that reps in reserve would just be more conducive of what we want to track. So I made a little bit of a PowerPoint, it's like the most boring PowerPoint you guys will ever have. You might view it as the best PowerPoint you've ever had because it's so short and to the point. Reps in reserve, the reason why we're switching is because it's simpler. Uh, the Borg scale, which we were going off before, 6 to 19, which is more symbolic of heart rate. So if you put a 14, 15, 16, that would mean 140, 150, 160 heart rate. Didn't really cover that in the last video. Figured I'd cover that now. Not really what we want to track, especially, some of you guys don't have equipment, so I'm not assuming that a lot of you guys have heart rate monitors available. Some of you guys might, however, and we'll get into that a little later. The hypothesis that we have going into this modified athlete conditioning card is essentially that 6 to 19 scale versus what you cover in reps in reserve, which is 0 to 10, has less variance, and therefore it's a better representation of your guys' progress. One caveat to that, which I mentioned earlier, is that if you're an endurance athlete, swimmer, cross country, certain track and field events, even some wrestlers, and you're looking to really build up your base cardio, then yeah, you can utilize the Borg scale. You obviously would just print it out, write out the RPE like we had before, and it's easy to track for us on our end. So you can use the Borg scale, and if you do have a fitness device, try to use the Borg scale in combination with that. So then eventually you'll be able to monitor, okay, this is what it feels like to be at 150 beats per minute or 140 beats per minute. And then you could just use the Borg scale and have it, instead of having to have some sort of watch or apparatus on your chest or something like that. So what is reps in reserve? It's very simple, and that's what the way it was designed was to be simple. It's on a 0 to 10 scale, and it represents the numbers of reps that you have left in the tank. So good rule of thumb, you should probably only have 1 to 5 reps left in the tank. If you had a reps in reserve of 0, that would equal an RPE of 10. So RIR of 0 equals max effort, right? So you could only do 1, you had nothing left in the tank. Although hitting an RPE of 10 every once in a while is good, it's definitely not conducive of performance in the long term if you're trying to build and adapt. So yeah, try to keep it between 1 and 5, monitor yourself, man. I'm leaving a lot on the table, consistently getting, 7s, 8s left in the tank. Monitor yourself and make the adjustments as need be. Just to go back to the Borg scale a little bit, 6 to 19, I didn't mention this before. This is, like I said, representative heart rate. If it hits above a 19, that would be a 200 beats per minute heart rate, which is closer to somebody's max heart rate. Whenever you're in a lab, or some of you guys are going to take kinesiology classes when you're in college, and you're in the lab testing lactate threshold or some of these other measurables. If you ever hit a heart rate above 190, they're probably going to shut the machine down. It's a little bit too risky. Yeah, and so that basically concludes the worst PowerPoint of all time. So you'll see that there's a couple changes to your cards. Obviously, we got the RIR added in for the cards on Excel or Google Sheets rather. It's interactive, so you can go straight onto YouTube and watch the videos. So you just click the link, you can go to YouTube, watch the videos. Every exercise that we have on the card currently has been filmed, and we'll update it as we advance your cards past these 4 weeks, okay? And that about covers it. We'll have this link up on your physical education Instagram page, and we're going to update it weekly. I'm going to do a screencast. It might be a little bit more fun in the future. Have Coach Dom, have some of your other coaches on, and just have long form discussions in a screencast format. I know you guys are spending a lot of time in class and on the screen, doing homework, watching lectures. So I don't want to make anything too tedious for you. So usually going to keep this pretty short. I guess another update would be your MHS exercise database is all up to date. We have all the exercises that are currently on the cards in here full with resources in terms of videos. Remember, you guys need to be doing your warm-ups. Got an example of a standard warm-up and an SAQ warm-up. Ideally, you're doing both of these together. At the very least, you could add some more reps to this, and it would be a pretty good workout for you. You could call it an SAQ day. All right, guys. Well, that's it for now. Hope you have a great week. Probably pop in at some point, either on my phone or on my laptop, just to see your guys' faces. Stay safe, have fun, get active. I'll talk to you soon.